I later found out that he laced the blunt with the crack.
Hip-hop artists are usually known for their vocal and outspoken nature, and this shows in the lyrics and delivery of their songs. In today's video, we delve into the dynamic world of rap interviews, where the outspoken nature of these artists often takes center stage in some of the most compelling and unsettling ways imaginable. Join us as we detail how that expressive nature transcended into some of the most disturbing interviews of rappers. Eminem. In April 1999, Rolling Stone magazine conducted an interview with Eminem, a rising rapper who had recently released his debut album, the Slim Shady LP. This interview marked a pivotal moment in Eminem's career, as it provided a glimpse into the mind of the controversial artist and shed light on his journey from a struggling cook in a Detroit grill to a successful musician. The article began by describing Eminem's humble beginnings and his determination to make it in the music industry. Growing up in a poverty-stricken neighborhood, Eminem faced numerous challenges and obstacles. However, his passion for music and his undeniable talent propelled him forward. During the interview, Eminem opened up about the themes and explicit content of his music, which had garnered both praise and condemnation. He defended his lyrics, stating that they were a reflection of his own experiences and emotions. However, his words often pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable, with homophobic and misogynistic references that shocked many.
I'm not here to try to justify anything that I say or do. People can make their own perceptions.
One of the most memorable moments of the interview came when Eminem was asked about his views on homosexuality. His response was met with controversy and outrage. He made a homophobic remark, expressing his difficulty in understanding and accepting gay people. This sparked a backlash from the gay and lesbian community, who accused Eminem of promoting hate speech. Despite the controversy, Eminem's mentor, Dr. Dre, stood by him and praised his talent. Dr. Dre believed that Eminem's provocative lyrics were a form of artistic expression and a way for him to vent his frustrations. However, this only intensified the criticism and fueled the ongoing debate surrounding Eminem's music. The Rolling Stone interview also delved into Eminem's troubled upbringing and his struggles with poverty. It highlighted his determination to succeed in the music industry despite facing numerous obstacles and doubters along the way. Eminem's unique style and provocative lyrics had gained him acceptance in the hip-hop community, where he was seen as a groundbreaking artist pushing the boundaries of the genre. As the interview concluded, Eminem reflected on his past and expressed his love for his daughter. This glimpse into his personal life humanized the controversial rapper, showing a softer side beneath the provocative persona. The Rolling Stone interview with Eminem in April 1999 provided a fascinating insight into the mind of the rising rapper. It showcased his determination, his controversial lyrics, and the criticism he faced for his provocative views. This interview set the stage for the subsequent disturbing interviews that would follow throughout Eminem's career, solidifying his reputation as one of the most controversial and polarizing figures in the music industry. One aspect of Eminem's life that has been a constant source of controversy and speculation is his relationship with his daughter's mother. Throughout his career, Eminem has been open about the volatile nature of their relationship, which is often played out through his music. After a show in New York, Eminem returns home to Detroit to spend time with his daughter and her mother. They live in a trailer park, and Eminem has taken over the payments on his mother's trailer. Inside the trailer, there are pictures of Eminem, his daughter, and his mentor, Dr. Dre, serving as a reminder of the people who have influenced his life and career. Eminem's relationship with his daughter's mother has been tumultuous, marked by frequent fights and disagreements. He has written songs that directly address their conflicts, using his music as an outlet to express his frustrations and emotions. These songs have often been met with controversy, as they delve into deeply personal and private matters. His friend, Proof, believes that Eminem will eventually marry his daughter's mother, but there will always be conflict between them. The volatile nature of their relationship has been a subject of speculation and gossip within the media and among fans. It has added another layer of complexity to Eminem's public persona, further blurring the lines between his personal and professional life. Eminem acknowledges his own bad temper and admits that his lyrics can be misogynistic. However, he sees his alter ego, Slim Shady, as a way to take revenge on the world and express his frustrations. Through his music, he has often used provocative and controversial language to address his personal struggles and relationships. Despite the turbulence in his personal life, Eminem remains dedicated to his daughter. He has expressed his love for her in interviews and through his music, showcasing a softer and more vulnerable side of his persona. This complex dynamic between his public image and his private life has only added to the intrigue surrounding Eminem as an artist. In summary, Eminem's relationship with his daughter's mother has been marked by volatility and conflict. This aspect of his personal life has often played out through his music, adding another layer of controversy and intrigue to his already controversial career. Despite the challenges, Eminem remains dedicated to his daughter, showcasing a more vulnerable side of his persona. This complex dynamic between his public image and private life has only further solidified his status as one of the most intriguing and controversial figures in the music industry. One of the most significant controversies surrounding Eminem's career revolves around his homophobic remarks and the subsequent backlash he faced from the gay and lesbian community. Eminem's provocative lyrics and outspoken nature often pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable, and his comments on homosexuality ignited a firestorm of criticism. In various interviews and songs, Eminem made derogatory and offensive remarks about the LGBTQ+ community, using homophobic slurs and promoting hate speech. These remarks were met with outrage and condemnation from activists, organizations, and individuals who saw them as perpetuating harmful stereotypes and contributing to a culture of discrimination. The controversy reached its peak during the release of Eminem's album, the Marshall Mathers LP. The gay and lesbian community in particular took offense to the homophobic references in his lyrics, which they saw as promoting hatred and intolerance. A gay and lesbian anti-definition organization publicly criticized Eminem, calling his album the most defensive record they had ever heard. Eminem's response to the backlash was mixed. On one hand, he defended his lyrics as a form of artistic expression and personal storytelling, arguing that they should not be taken literally. He claimed that his words were a reflection of his own experiences and emotions, rather than a reflection of his true beliefs. However, his attempts to justify his remarks were met with skepticism and further criticism. Many argued that regardless of his intentions, his lyrics had real-world consequences and perpetuated harmful stereotypes. The gay and lesbian community in particular felt targeted and marginalized by his words. Eminem's interviews during this period were filled with tension and controversy. He found himself constantly defending his lyrics and facing questions about his views on homosexuality. While he acknowledged that he had met gay people and claimed not to personally hold any animosity towards them, his lyrics and remarks told a different story. The backlash from the gay and lesbian community prompted Eminem to address the issue directly in some of his songs. In one track, he attempted to clarify his stance, stating that he did not have a problem with gay men, but rather took issue with certain individuals. However, these attempts at clarification were met with mixed reactions, with many arguing that his lyrics continued to perpetuate harmful stereotypes and contribute to a culture of discrimination. The controversy surrounding Eminem's homophobic remarks and the subsequent backlash from the gay and lesbian community shed light on the power of words and the responsibility that comes with being in the public eye. It sparked important conversations about the impact of hate speech and the need for greater understanding and acceptance. Eminem's homophobic remarks and the backlash he faced from the gay and lesbian community became a defining moment in his career. The controversy highlighted the power of his words and the responsibility that comes with being a public figure. It also sparked important conversations about the impact of hate speech and the need for greater acceptance and understanding. Despite attempts to justify his lyrics, Eminem's remarks continued to be a source of controversy and criticism throughout his career. Kanye West.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
In the world of Kanye West, boundaries are meant to be broken, and limitations are mere obstacles to be overcome. As one of the most influential figures in the music industry, Kanye has always been known for his boldness and unapologetic pursuit of his dreams. But it was during his controversial interview with Sway Calloway that Kanye revealed his deepest aspirations and views on breaking into the fashion industry. With a passion that burned brighter than ever, Kanye expressed his desire to make a name for himself in the fashion world. He believed that his creativity and vision should not be confined to music alone, but should extend to the realm of fashion. Kanye saw fashion as an art form, a medium through which he could express his unique perspective and challenge the status quo. During the interview, Kanye spoke passionately about his frustrations with the fashion industry and the challenges he faced as a black man trying to break into a predominantly white-dominated field. He believed that his race should not limit his opportunities or dictate his success. Kanye's determination to defy the odds and carve his own path in the fashion world was evident in every word he spoke. But Kanye's aspirations went beyond personal success. He saw himself as a disruptor, someone who could revolutionize the fashion industry and challenge its norms. He wanted to create clothing that was accessible to everyone, breaking down the barriers of exclusivity and elitism. Kanye's vision was rooted in inclusivity and the belief that fashion should be a platform for self-expression and empowerment. Throughout the interview, Kanye's passion was palpable. His voice rose with intensity as he spoke about his dreams and aspirations. He refused to be silenced or dismissed, demanding that his ideas be taken seriously. Kanye's unwavering belief in his own abilities and his determination to make a mark in the fashion industry left a lasting impression on viewers. Sway, the seasoned radio host, listened attentively to Kanye's impassioned words. He recognized the fire in Kanye's eyes and the sincerity in his voice. Sway challenged Kanye, suggesting that he should go at it alone in his fashion endeavors, free from the constraints of established fashion houses. This exchange sparked a heated debate, with Kanye defending his desire to collaborate with established brands while still maintaining his independence. As the interview unfolded, it became clear that Kanye Kanye's aspirations in the fashion industry were not just about personal success or fame. They were about breaking down barriers, challenging norms, and creating a space for artists like himself to thrive. Kanye's views on breaking into the fashion industry were a reflection of his larger mission to disrupt and redefine the creative landscape. Within the intense and controversial interview between Kanye West and Sway Calloway, there were several memorable moments that left viewers both entertained and intrigued. One such moment occurred when Kanye humorously questioned Sway about the name of his clothing line, creating a lighthearted exchange that showcased Kanye's wit and charm. As the conversation delved into the topic of fashion, Kanye couldn't resist poking fun at Sway's own clothing line. With a mischievous grin, Kanye playfully asked Sway about the name of his line, causing a momentary pause in the interview. The unexpected humor injected a brief moment of levity into the otherwise intense discussion. Sway, known for his quick thinking and ability to handle any situation, responded with a smile, acknowledging the playful banter. This exchange between the two influential figures in the industry showcased their ability to find common ground even amidst the heated conversation. But beyond the lighthearted moment, the interview also explored deeper topics that shed light on the challenges Kanye faces as a black man trying to make a name for himself in the fashion industry. Kanye expressed his frustration about how his efforts in the fashion world have affected his relevance in the music industry. He passionately argued that his creativity and vision should not be limited to one field, and that he should be recognized as a multi-talented artist. Kanye's dedication to breaking down barriers and challenging the status quo was evident in every word he spoke. Throughout the interview, Kanye's emotions ran high, and he became visibly upset at times. His voice rose with intensity as he defended his ideas and aspirations. Sway, on the other hand, remained calm and composed, challenging Kanye's beliefs and suggesting that he should go at it alone in his fashion endeavors. This confrontation between the two influential figures created a tense atmosphere with viewers on the edge of their seats. It showcased the clash of ideas and perspectives, as well as the passion and determination that both Kanye and Sway possess. The memorable moments from this interview have resonated with viewers, sparking conversations and debates long after the interview took place. Kanye's humorous questioning of Sway's clothing line served as a reminder of his quick wit and ability to inject levity into even the most intense situations. The interview between Kanye West and Sway Calloway has left a lasting impact on viewers, making it a significant moment in hip-hop culture. This candid and intense conversation resonated with audiences, sparking conversations and debates long after the interview took place. Let's explore the significance of this interview and its lasting impact on viewers. One of the key factors that made this interview so impactful was the raw and real nature of the conversation. Kanye's passionate and unfiltered discourse about his aspirations and frustrations in the fashion industry struck a chord with viewers. It showcased his vulnerability and authenticity, allowing viewers to connect with him on a deeper level. The interview also shed light on the challenges faced by black artists in predominantly white-dominated industries. Kanye's frustration about the limitations and biases he encountered as a black man trying to break into the fashion world resonated with many. It sparked conversations about representation, equality, and the need for diverse voices in creative industries. XXXTentacion.
I still think Drake I think he's not a man. I think he's a bitch. That's a bitch move.
Drake and I have had our differences, to say the least. I have a deep dislike for him, and I'm not afraid to express it. XXXTentacion's candid admission about his dislike for Drake sends shockwaves through the interview. Tension between the two artists has been a topic of speculation and controversy within the music industry. I believe that Drake has been inauthentic in his music and his persona. He's a master of appropriation, taking elements from different genres and cultures without giving credit where it's due, he says. XXXTentacion's criticism of Drake's authenticity and alleged cultural appropriation adds fuel to the fire of their ongoing feud. His bold statements challenge the mainstream narrative surrounding Drake's success and influence. I've always been about staying true to myself and my art. I refuse to compromise my values for the sake of popularity. Drake, on the other hand, seems more concerned with maintaining his image and commercial success. XXXTentacion's refusal to compromise his values and his commitment to authenticity stand in stark contrast to his perception of Drake. Their differing approaches to music and fame have fueled the flames of their beef, captivating fans and critics alike. I've had enough of the industry's obsession with image and popularity. It's time for artists to be real and genuine. That's what I strive for in my music, and that's what I expect from others. XXXTentacion's frustration with the music industry's emphasis on image and popularity resonates with many artists and fans who crave authenticity. His outspoken nature and refusal to back down have made him a polarizing figure in the industry. Drake may have a massive following and commercial success, but that doesn't mean he's untouchable. I'm here here to challenge the status quo and shake things up. I won't be silenced. XXXTentacion's determination to challenge the status quo and make his voice heard is evident in his music and his outspoken nature. His beef with Drake serves as a symbol of his refusal to conform and his commitment to staying true to himself. My dislike for Drake runs deep, and I won't shy away from expressing it. I believe in calling out what I perceive as inauthenticity, and Drake is no exception. XXXTentacion's bold statements about Drake and their ongoing feud add another layer of intrigue to his already controversial persona. In his final interview before his death, he was interviewed by Tarpley Hitt, who approached XXXTentacion's house. She was greeted by a younger man with blonde hair. This man turned out to be Gustavo, a close friend of XXXTentacion. Gustavo, as Tarpley would later describe, was not only charismatic, but also incredibly charming. He had a way with words, articulating his thoughts and ideas with precision. However, there was an underlying condescension in his demeanor, as he constantly corrected Tarpley during their conversation. Throughout the interview, XXXTentacion's charismatic nature shone through, captivating Tarpley with his words and presence. He had a unique ability to articulate his thoughts and feelings, drawing her into his world. His words carried weight, leaving a lasting impression on those who listened. It was evident that he possessed a certain magnetism, a charm that drew people in. However, beneath this charm lay a condescending undertone. XXXTentacion seemed determined to correct Tarpley at every turn, as if he held the belief that he knew better. He would interject, offering corrections or alternative perspectives, even on the most trivial of matters. Tarpley recalled an instance when she expressed surprise at his willingness to come outside, to which he responded the word would be dumb-sounded. This correction, though seemingly playful, highlighted his need to assert his superiority and intelligence. This pattern of correction and condescension created a power imbalance during the interview. XXXTentacion seemed to relish in the role of the knowledgeable authority, while Tarpley was left feeling inferior and belittled. It became clear that he was obsessed with power, using his corrections as a means to control the conversation and assert his dominance. He would only respond to conversations on his own terms, dismissing or redirecting questions that didn't align with his desired narrative. One example of this power play was when Tarpley asked about XXXTentacion's experience in middle school. Instead of answering directly, he turned the tables and asked her which middle school he attended. This tactic seemed to test Tarpley's knowledge, as if he expected her to be familiar with every detail of his life. It created an uncomfortable dynamic where Tarpley felt the need to prove herself worthy of his information. This constant need for correction and validation revealed a deep insecurity within XXXTentacion. He seemed to crave power and control, using his corrections as a means to assert his dominance over others. The connection between his obsession with power and his condescending nature remained somewhat vague, but it was clear that he sought to maintain a position of superiority in every interaction. Despite the condescension, XXXTentacion's charisma and charm were undeniable. He had a way of drawing people in, captivating them with his words and presence. It was this combination of charisma and condescension that made him such a complex and intriguing figure. Azealia Banks.
You've tweeted sometimes about witchcraft, like very cryptically. Do you practice magic? What are your favorite spells?
The egg spell.
The egg spell?
You cleanse yourself with an egg, right? Pass the egg all over yourself, praying for all of your negativity to go away into the egg.
Azealia Banks found herself at the center of controversy once again after a disturbing interview that left everyone questioning the truth behind her claims. The incident in question involved none other than Hollywood actor Russell Crowe, and the details that emerged were nothing short of shocking. According to Azealia, the night took a dark turn when she attended a party at Russell Crowe's house. What was supposed to be a casual gathering quickly escalated into a heated altercation. Azealia alleges that Russell hurled racial slurs at her, choked her, and even spat on her. The gravity of these accusations cannot be understated, as they paint a disturbing picture of violence and racism. However, the witnesses present at the party have a different account of the events. They claim that Azealia's behavior was erratic and that she made threats towards them. This conflicting narrative has left many puzzled, unsure of who to believe. On one hand, Azealia's reputation for being outspoken and controversial might lead some to question the validity of her claims. On the other hand, the witnesses' testimonies cannot be dismissed lightly. The question of reconciliation also arises in this troubling situation. Can Azealia and Russell find a way to mend their differences and move forward? Azealia has made it clear that she has no intention of reconciling with Russell, stating that she cannot attach herself to someone who would treat her in such a manner. This firm stance reflects her strength and determination to stand up against any form of mistreatment. The aftermath of this disturbing interview has left the public divided. Some believe Azealia's account, citing her history of speaking out against injustice and her willingness to confront powerful figures. Others question her credibility, pointing to her controversial past and tendency to engage in Twitter feuds feuds. The truth may never be fully known, as it often becomes a matter of he said, she said. What is clear, however, is that this incident has shed light on the complexities of power dynamics in the entertainment industry. It raises important questions about accountability, racial discrimination, and the treatment of women in the spotlight. Azalea's disturbing interview serves as a stark reminder that even in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, darkness can lurk beneath the surface. Azealia Banks is no stranger to controversy. Throughout her career, she has made headlines for her outspoken nature and willingness to engage in heated debates on social media. Her controversial opinions and Twitter feuds have left a lasting impact on her career and public perception. Azalea's unfiltered and unapologetic approach to expressing her thoughts and beliefs has garnered both praise and criticism. She has never been one to shy away from addressing sensitive topics or calling out individuals in the industry. This fearlessness has earned her a reputation as a provocateur, someone who is unafraid to challenge the status quo. However, with this outspokenness comes consequences. Azalea's controversial opinions and Twitter feuds have often overshadowed her musical talent and artistic achievements. While some admire her for speaking her mind and refusing to conform to societal norms, others view her as a divisive figure, someone who thrives on controversy for the sake of attention. The impact of Azalea's controversial opinions and Twitter feuds on her career cannot be ignored. They have led to public backlash, damaged relationships with fellow artists, and even resulted in the loss of endorsement deals. Despite these setbacks, Azalea has remained steadfast in her beliefs, refusing to back down or apologize for her words. In a revealing interview, Azealia Banks highlighted the double standards she faces when it comes to her online presence. She pointed out that when she posts something controversial on Twitter, she is often bashed and vilified, whereas Kanye West might post something equally contentious and receive a pat on the back from the Twitter community. This disparity in reactions raises questions about the power dynamics at play and the different standards applied to her as opposed to her male counterparts. Azalea's presence on social media has allowed her to connect directly with her fans and build a loyal following. However, it has also exposed her to intense scrutiny and criticism. The immediacy and reach of social media have amplified the impact of her controversial statements, making them accessible to a global audience in real time. As Azealia continues to navigate the music industry and express her opinions, it remains to be seen how her public image will evolve. Will her controversial nature overshadow her musical talent, or will her artistry ultimately prevail? Only time will tell. DMX. At the tender age of 14, DMX found himself deceived into smoking crack, an experience that would haunt him for years to come. It all started on a fateful night when DMX and his trusted friend Reddy Ron celebrated the latter's birthday. They had just returned from a successful robbery, and with the money in hand, DMX generously told Reddy Ron to go and get something to mark the occasion. Little did he know that this seemingly innocent act of kindness would lead to his downfall. Reddy Ron returned with a blunt rolled up, and as DMX counted the money, his attention was diverted. Reddy Ron took advantage of the moment and lit the blunt, passing it around. Unbeknownst to DMX, the blunt had been laced with crack cocaine. As DMX took his first hit, he was impressed by the intensity of the experience. The allure of the drug momentarily overshadowed the money he had just obtained. It was a pivotal moment, one that would forever alter the trajectory of his life. In the aftermath of that night, DMX discovered the truth behind the deception. Reddy Ron, someone he looked up to and considered an older brother figure, had intentionally laced the blunt with crack. The betrayal cut deep, leaving DMX questioning why someone he trusted would do such a thing. The effects of that night reverberated through DMX's life. He soon found himself trapped in the grip of addiction, struggling to break free from the chains that held him captive. The crack became a monster that consumed his every thought and action, leading him down a dark and dangerous path. In his song, The Pain, DMX reflects on this traumatic experience, expressing his disbelief and anger towards Reddy Ron. The person he once idolized had revealed himself to be a snake, someone who had taken advantage of his vulnerability and trust. The lyrics of the song capture the raw emotions that DMX felt as he grappled with the aftermath of that night. The story of DMX's deception serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of addiction and the devastating impact it can have on a person's life. It also sheds light on the vulnerability of youth and the importance of protecting them from harmful influences. But amidst the pain and darkness, DMX's resilience shines through. He acknowledges that addiction is not the root problem, but rather a symptom of deeper pain. Through his journey of recovery and self-discovery, DMX has found the strength to confront his demons and face the traumas that he had stored away for so long. In his interview, DMX offers a unique perspective on addiction and the underlying pathologies that plague many communities, particularly those in the hood. He believes that addiction is not the root problem, but rather a symptom of deeper pain and unresolved issues. DMX opens up about his own experiences with addiction, acknowledging that drugs were never the real problem for him. They were merely a way to cope with the pain and trauma he had stored away for so long. He emphasizes that addiction should not be viewed in isolation, but rather as a manifestation of a bigger problem. Growing up in the hood, DMX DMX witnessed firsthand the pathologies that plagued his community. Poverty, violence, and a lack of resources created an environment where people turned to drugs as a means of escape. He believes that addressing these underlying issues is crucial in tackling addiction and helping individuals find a path to recovery.